I have to let it go. What am I supposed to do?
Business owners frustrated with the statewide mask mandate, and Johnson County health officials also frustrated there's no way to force compliance. Good evening, everyone. I'm Phil Sanchez.
And I'm Kylie Conway. Those same officials are also worried for the safety of their employees who have to try to enforce the rules. And Wish TV's Dan Klein joins us live from Greenwood. Dan, you found some local business owners who echo that same concern.
Yeah, Kylie, the sign here at Roscoe's Tacos is pretty clear. In fact, it's right here in bold. A mask is required to order food inside, although if you have a medical condition and you cannot wear one, they understand. But enforcing this is a frustration for people on all sides. The dinner rush Wednesday at Roscoe's Tacos. Everyone in sight wearing a mask as required.
I believe that it's a good idea.
But for the few who have come in without one,
what am I supposed to do? The government does not give me authority.
Owner Roscoe Townsend says by now everyone knows about the mandate, and he doesn't feel like he should be forced to make sure they have a state-approved exception. Plus, he doesn't want to risk getting punched or assaulted just for asking, as has happened in other places around the country.
This mandate and the enforcement of it has been laid upon the people least suited to deal with it.
It's frustrating.
Johnson County health officials frustrated too. Hundreds of calls pouring in from people in the last 2 weeks. The staff is scrambling to keep up, either by calling or going to businesses directly. They followed up on a complaint Wednesday at Greenwood Park Mall and found 4 places in the food court where employees were not wearing masks.
Do people refuse?
Absolutely they do.
Then what?
Then we keep asking.
In the case of the mall, Betsy Swearingen's staff can issue fines because it's a food establishment, though that hasn't happened yet. But if it's not connected to food, her staff doesn't have the authority to do anything.
The only thing I wish is that we had some teeth to it, that there was some sort of civil fining process that was statewide and consistent.
Marion County so far the only place with such a system, summoning the first person to court on Thursday and announcing Monday it could start fining violators $1,000.
It will be interesting to see if it works.
Meanwhile, Roscoe fears he has lost business from people complaining online that a customer in his restaurant wasn't wearing a mask. Especially frustrating since he just reopened in late July because of popular demand. As for the mask mandate,
I'm not at liberty to say what I think should be done because it's not my responsibility.
Betsy Swearingen says keeping up with these mask complaints is really becoming a time-consuming task. In fact, just one complaint can result in a 30-minute drive for someone in her office. So it's resulted in 6 people, that's 1/3 of her office, dealing with mask complaints, at least part-time. Reporting live in Greenwood, Dan Klein, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook.
Dan, thank you. Now, the statewide moratorium on evictions is set to end on Friday. Housing advocates say thousands of Hoosiers struggling to pay rent could soon be homeless. Some tenant advocates were hoping Governor Holcomb might extend the moratorium during a state house briefing today. He did not, but the state did boost its rental aid program by $15 million. Indianapolis is pumping another $7.5 million into the city's rental aid program. So now the 2 pots of money total more than $60 million, but can still only help a fraction of Hoosiers in need. Tenant advocate Andrew Bradley says data shows an estimated 250,000 Indiana renters need help making rent due to COVID-19. He says landlords waiting for payments will likely begin filing for eviction immediately after the moratorium ends.
We are expecting to see multiple waves of evictions, starting when this eviction moratorium is lifted and extending when people's resources from unemployment benefits and et cetera run out, but even into next year.
A federal housing order signed by President Trump over the weekend does not halt eviction proceedings. And utility companies in Indiana can begin shutting off service for non-payment after this Friday. The Indiana Utility Regulatory Committee announced this morning it will not extend the moratorium to prevent disconnection. It's been in place since the start of the pandemic. The IURC is suspending collection of late fees. It's also requiring utilities to offer long-term payment options for another 2 months.
All right, let's take a look now at the latest coronavirus numbers from the state. Health officials confirming 15 more deaths. They happened between August 3rd and August 11th. 2,878 Hoosier deaths are now linked to the pandemic. There are 671 new cases. 76,522 people have now been diagnosed.